All right. So I want to welcome Dr. Mendez and Dr. Sandra Trotman to, I hope I didn't butcher your names too much, to this session. And they're going to share with us about mentorship and how we can do that in our post-pandemic world. So I'm going to turn the session over to you to give you the most time.
Good morning, everyone. And this is a topic that's very apropos. Today, we start Mentorship Month. I found that out through our benefits section at NOVA with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and they were highlighting mentorship because we're starting Mentorship Month. And when Dr. Trotman and I designed or prepared for this presentation, back last fall, when it was originally supposed to take place, little did we know that we would be presenting this during Mentorship Month. And we believe that mentors provide the compass when you are lost, when you don't know where to go, when you're at your wit's end, to guide the students into the post-pandemic world. And this is here to stay. We are in a post-pandemic world. And many of the things that occurred during the pandemic continue on. And we just have to be there like their lifeline.
Okay, good morning. And thank you so much, Dr. Mendez, for sharing and that introduction. I'm Sandra Trotman, and I just want to say thanks to FDLA for giving us this opportunity wherein we can share our experiences with mentoring and distant or remote or virtual learning. It has its challenges. And as we are now operating in both worlds, the distance and the face-to-face, we take what we have learned from the students, the data that we gather, to inform our practices. And so it is, I see mentoring as being a partnership. And we look at that partnership between the mentee and the mentor. In our case, it is with our graduate and doctoral students. And we have reached out to our colleagues to help us to help meet the needs of our students. Dr. Mendez.
So today we were going to be discussing what is a mentor? What do we see as being a mentor? And we're going to go into some mentorship techniques, such as the importance of building rapport. You cannot reach anybody unless there's a connection, unless you are speaking the same language that of understanding, of realizing where the other person is coming from. When there needs to be that lifeline, there needs to be that line that connects both the mentor and the mentee, and also to provide clarity of purpose. And this is part of the communication. Understanding where that mentee, what are their goals? What are their aspirations? Where they want to, where do they see themselves? In the present, in the future. So short-term goals, long-term goals. And trying to provide you with examples of best practices, how to remove the barriers. And in the previous presentation, it was discussed, like, for example, food insecurities. Like all of these, or many of these students, mentees, are going through very hard challenges. And first of all, we have to recognize what those challenges are, what those barriers are, and try to assist them with them, the students with those, in order for them to be able to learn to work in schools. Okay, and then we have to foster this communication. And it is not a one-shot deal once a semester and never. It has to be a constant communication. so they know that you really care for them, that there's a link, that you are there for them, and you are there for them to provide emotional support. So they feel that if they're going through something difficult, they can either pick up the phone, shoot you a text, or send you an email, to, even if it's just as a listener, to be able to listen to their concerns. So, Dr. Trotman.
We look at what is mentoring and the relationship, and Dr. Mendez just spoke about it. We need to go beyond just saying, okay, I care, to providing that environment where there is trust, where the individual feel that I can share, that you care, okay? And it is developing that sort of relationship. Edu calls mentoring in higher education. In their 2019 report, they stated that 71% of mentors and 86% of mentees indicated that there was, it greatly enhanced their professional development. So we see the importance of mentoring even during tragic times, even during challenging times. So I'm going to take it a step further. Understanding and respect that each mentee brings different perspectives. You have to. So here's an example, and as I talk about it, I will try to bring out some of these, and Dr. Mendez will come in. I share with you the first episode from one of my master's class. And in this class, we have students from different backgrounds, different locations, but there was this one student in particular who I know is an A student, but suddenly the student was off the radar. What is happening here? I reach out to the student, and once, twice, and I thought all is lost. I send another message out to the student, and the student finally got back to me and was able to talk to me about what is happening. We have to communicate with them, and we have to not only do it clearly, but frequently. So we set up that relationship, that schedule. It wasn't really a fixed schedule, but I just know with the individual, I say, you got to reach out to me. Even if it's once per week, we got to have that. So I can help you, I can guide you. So we were able to develop that timeline. I was able to listen to what the person had to say, and I was able to give them ideas as to how they can navigate what is happening in their lives, and also how they can deal with their class courses. So we had to set up those expectations.
No, and even I have a student also provide some feedback. Like at the end of each term, I asked them for some feedback, and I said, Dr. Mendez, I really appreciated you reaching out to me whenever you saw that anything was out of the ordinary. For example, when I missed your Zoom class, the next morning, you contacted me to ask me what had happened and how could you support me. And that they find that very valuable, because they're not just another name, another number in your grade book that you really notice when they're not present. Or it can be, and sometimes I've noticed, and that's why I ask them to have their camera on, because sometimes their expressions during class are not what it usually is. So that would prompt me to, after class, reach out to them. Is everything okay with you? What can I do to help you? And this is very important. This meaning that you're listening, you're supporting them, you are aware of them as if anything is happening or not. Another thing is to help them develop a timeline. Many students at the beginning of the term have a timeline in their mind of when they're going to turn in assignments. We as professors provide deadlines and everything. but then life happens. So help them deal with that. Then how can we go if plan A is not working after this timeline? Please help me refocus and see how I can, set the new timeline. Also, with a mentee, it helps to talk to them and have them, this is what you would, why don't you contact your professor? Your professor doesn't know that this is happening. And I'm sure they would be willing. Do you want me to be there present when you're talking to the professor to assist you? Or do you want to do it on your own? Let's try out a scenario, how you can approach that professor with a missed deadline. So these are things that we can do to support our mentees, not only as we have them in courses ourselves, but as they have other courses.
Okay, so if I may jump in here, thank you, Dr. Mendez. So we are looking at best practices. Another thing we can say, instead of saying best practices, we can call these as being the core mentoring skills, right? And added to that, we have inspiring, and we'll talk about that later. We have getting them to identify goals, and we have opening up doors. And later on, I will talk to you about opening up doors, because we do it. Based on what we went through, we are now carrying it over to the new normal.
Okay, another thing is how we can show them how to leverage technology to assist with communication, not only with their mentors, but with their classmates, with their professors. And they can be as simple as they didn't think they can use the technology to communicate with friends, but we can tell them this is something that you can also try to use as a tool to help you in your communication at the university.
Okay, so let's address emotions. And here is another example. Dr. Mendez will give you more information on this. But we had a situation during the height of COVID wherein one of our doctoral students was undergoing a real terrible time. And it wasn't just her alone we got to find out, it was others too. But she was carrying this burden. And it gave us an opportunity to talk to her. And not only talk to her, but to put something in place to assist her. Over to Dr. Mendez.
Yes, and the university also has a lot of support services. And sometimes we can just provide the first step in addressing emotions, like being there, listening. But sometimes we recognize that certain students may need additional help, additional counseling services. And we as mentors can act as the person that's connecting them to these services. And it isn't just as providing an email address or something for them to connect. It's that follow through afterwards. Hey, did you connect? Did you talk to them? How did that go? And so they know that you just did not dismiss the situation by passing it along. No, you really cared. You followed through afterwards and you say, did you connect them? What was your experience? How did you meet? Maybe if you, for example, did not like the counselor that they assigned you to, what are some options for requesting another counselor? So we give them these pointers, this additional support. As I said, sometimes the emotions we can address at our level, but some of them need additional support.
Okay. So going back to it, thank you, Dr. Mendez. The one that I wanted you to share was our story wherein we had to bring in the help and get a webinar session on mental health.
Yes. And that also helped us because we heard from one student that was dealing with this issue, but by making that presentation available to the class or to other students, it has the beauty of maybe addressing somebody else's need that we were not aware of.
Yes. And getting them to talk.
and share and follow up, because that's one of the things that we do at the end. Is that, if you want to discuss this further, and we provide our contact information, please reach out to us. Okay, so that opened that window also for the ones that did not verbalize it before, but saw themselves in the picture, in the presentation. So some of the basics are, and we have build rapport. And the best way to build rapport is for the mentee to recognize that we value them, that we trust them, that we respect them, that we treat them as another human being. And one of the best ways that I find, and I do not only practice this with my mentees, I practice this when I go to restaurants, I practice this wherever I am, is address them by their name. Mm-hmm. They are important.
Yes.
So you are not just somebody there that I'm just passing the time with at this point in time. You are somebody that I care about, that I am aware of you as a person, of what you may be going through. Understand what they're going through, their experiences, their interests, and make a point of trying to remember those. So the next time, how was your dog that you said that was not feeling well? Make that link so they know, hey, she really listened to me. She really was paying attention to what I was saying.
Yes.
And provide that line of trust. That what you tell me, I'm not going to go out and just divulge it to anybody else. You can trust me with that information. I can guide you based on the information you gave me.
Right.
But I will not break your trust.
Thank you. Thank you. And on that note, let's see what happens in the classroom. So we took that from our online and we brought it to the face-to-face, and it's still happening in our online also. What some of us do, not everyone I'm saying, but I know that I do it, is that first 5 to 10 minutes of my class is known as my coffee chat. It is my cares, my concerns, and my appreciation. I begin it with appreciation, and there I set the scene for the others to speak before we go into the concern. And when they share certain things, they get the support from everyone. And I show them that maybe I have gone through that, or somebody else will say that they had that, and they might suggest a resource that they can use. So it is making us feel that there is a oneness, that we are connected. And I call it my coffee chat, that first 5 to 10 minutes of any class.
El cafecito.
Yes.
And communication is key. And you have to do that clearly and frequently. What I mentioned before about active listening. Please really pay attention to what that other person or your mentee is saying. And encourage the sharing of the challenges and difficulties. So we can, as Dr. Trotman says, you're not alone. I may have gone through something similar, but by the same token, don't diminish what they're feeling when they're hurting by saying, I went through that too. No. Recognize that they're feeling, and they may not be dealing it as you would, because each person is individual. We can give them advice of what worked, but always do it with the premise, this worked for me. It may work for you, but give them that thing, because if they don't feel comfortable in how to handle something, that necessarily means that they may not do it the same way.
And they do have the opportunity of speaking to us after. They can do their one-to-one session. We provide a flexible schedule for them to reach us and talk to us, and we go from there. But we always promote reaching us. Make the time. I know some say they can, and sometimes they're driving when I call, and because I call, they feel that they're obliged to get back in touch with me. And I appreciate it, because I say I'm not only here for the course, but I'm here to help you through the course.
And as you have heard, this famous saying that says, I may not remember exactly what you taught me, but I do remember how you made me feel. And I always said that when as an educator, when I started, and I said to my students, I do not expect for you to remember my name, my face, or anything, but I do expect for you to remember how I made you feel. Some of the words that I said that really touched your heart, because that's a ripple effect of being an educator. What we teach them now, or how we made them feel now, is what they will in turn pass on to their children, or to even to the people in the street that they come in contact with. So this is like the things that we do as mentors. We help students, our mentees, set goals. How do we do this? By demonstrating genuine interest in their goals and being a role model. And sometimes, they say, I want to be an aerospace engineer, and you're not. So you cannot model that for them, but maybe you can put them in touch with somebody that can be a role model and can help them make the connection and celebrate their successes. And success is anything that can be what seems very minor, but it was, oh my God, a step in the right direction.
Right.
And it was major for them.
So one more thing that I share, and I will do it quickly. So we have this master's student, and during the time they're having difficulties with the technology and how to reach students. And during that time, this student was very good at using Desmos in the classroom to teach the math class. And so what I got him to do is to arrange a session, a student-led session with the class. And he was in charge, and he took them through it. The next time we meet, students who used it, his colleagues, his peers who used it, were able now to come back and to report. Now he was able to move a step further into a more leadership role, wherein he was able to present what he did at a conference. So mentoring matters. We as mentors can help our mentees to achieve great heights, to develop self-esteem and confidence in what they're doing and as professionals.
And these are some of the things that we mentioned before. One of the things that we need to do is help them remove the barriers. And we know that they exist. And that's very good, Victoria, that you like to see students as mentees, because they in turn help each other out. Sometimes with the technology, I have students helping each other with the technology. For an assignment, for example, for this week, they have to do respond to one of the discussion posts, but using Clip. And a student was having a lot of difficulty with the camera, getting the camera to work. I set up a Zoom meeting to try to assist one-on-one. We were getting nowhere. But Lord and behold, one of my students in this doctoral class is the IT person for the university. So he says, don't worry, Dr. Mendez, I got this. And sure, Lord and behold, she helped that student, and she sent an email. Lo logramos, we did it! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And it was a we. It
Yes.
wasn't I did
Right.
it, he did it, it was that we did
Yes.
it. So that really helped fulfill this goal, even though it may seem minor, using the camera with Flip, but it was achieved.
Wonderful.
I want to thank you both for sharing your process for mentoring your students in your classrooms. So, unfortunately, we don't have time for questions, so I'm going to stop recording this session and then allow the next group to come into our room so they can prepare for their presentation.
The let me just add that the PowerPoint presentation is available, and please.
And yeah, it's available in the program. So thank you.
Very much. Thank you, Deborah, for joining us.
Thank you. And thank you for your feedback, Deborah. I hope you it helps you setting up a mentorship program. I give you
Yes.
Take care. Have
Thank
a
you,
good
Dr.
day.
Mendez.
Thank you, Dr. Trotman.
Thank you, Vic.
Are you going to join us in the next one, Dr. Trotman?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay here for this one and then move before I do anything else.
I think this one kind of fits in with what you're doing.
Yes, we want to see what's happening as we move forward.
So, well, it's so nice to see you guys, and wish we could see you in person. And so, how are things going for you?
Not bad. This is a very, very busy time. Very, very busy time. It's like getting ready for NCATE preparations and things like that.
Oh, yes, that's right. You guys are doing NCATE right now.
Yes. And then you have editorial work that you're doing, reviewing articles and getting things ready, and then being a lead reviewer for NCTM with Cape, you got to be on the ball.
I'm in the same boat. It was like, how am I going to carve time out for this conference? I'm doing the university level P&T portfolio reviews for 40 of those. And then I had, I was putting a course in for QM. And then, we're revising our P&T criteria at the college level. And it has all of these things and coming together at the exact same time. I feel like I'm in
That's what I said to someone. I came out of 2 meetings yesterday. The last one I said, don't send me anything until next week.
Next week. Yep. I was like, I have no space.
Yeah. But you know, I must say thanks to Dr. Mendez with this conference, because she was like keeping me together. You know, she'll telephone me, she will send whatever reminders. We got to go, we got to do it. And yes, and
we mentor each other, Dr. Trotman.
Thank you. We do. It's the we. And you know, we started out with me, but listening to what is happening is the we. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're ready for the next group.
We are, except the presenter is not here.
Oh.
I'm not sure what's going on. Dr. Savardis Brown is supposed to be the presenter. So I don't know. Maybe we can keep talking.
We have so much to talk about, but you know, even in terms of looking, something that we didn't share that came out from our mentoring during the crisis, right? One of the things that came out was that we were able to get these students to come on board, to start thinking of research and how they can become presenters. And we start having sessions for them to now work with others. So that's the leadership domino effect that came out from having that. Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and go to another presentation.
That's fine.
Dr. Gabriela.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, tell me which one is that, please.
Creating equity and excellence for all learners via remote learning.
Okay.
Here.
White
Which
Care,
is
yeah, that one
also
sounds
a-
really good
Oh,
too.
yes, yes, yes.
Dr. Major, for some reason, our presenter's not here.
And as well as the other session. So,
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's sad.
yes.
Okay.
So let me go. I'm gonna bounce back to the other room just to see if they came.
Okay.
And,
And I'm gonna join my fellow colleague and see what's happening over in the
Well,
other
we're
room.
saying that the presenter's not there either.
It's
Well,
not, she's not.
Not yet, but we'll see. Let me
You mean-
go
Yeah,
back.
that's
Vicky, if for some reason
okay.
you're
Dr. Mendez is not there, Gabriella?
that should be Gabriella.
Yes.
At 11 though, not 10:30.
Oh, okay, so we made a mistake.
I'm gonna, if for some reason
It should be Amy, Susan, Sue Brower, and Rohan.
no, they already presented.
They
already-
did?
Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute. So am I not clicking on the right one? Okay. No, it says 10 o'clock. Is it
That was 10, we now have to go 10:30.
10:30. Oh, okay. Okay.
So if your presenter doesn't show up here,
Actually,
Vicky,
it's actually Sandra, you are presenting at 10:30 right now in the other room.
oh, it's good. So there we go. So
Yeah.
problem solved.
That, yep.
So
Andrea,
so we're presenting twice?
Yes. So you're presenting in the other room. Okay.
Okay.
See you.
if your presenter doesn't show here, maybe just direct people to the other
The other
room.
one. Yeah.
Okay. All
That's
right, I'm
fine.
gonna go now.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks for noticing it was her. All
Yes.
right, bye.
Dr. Brown,
Yes.
hi. I just registered while we were doing this. I've been forgetting because I could access it, but to register. But my question is, I am just seeing them on the hour. You know how you're talking about who's supposed to present at 10:30? Is that on the people who's registered program? Because the sheet I'm looking at, I'm not seeing that.
Okay, so if you open up the eventee, did you join the session, the eventee?
Yes.
Okay, and then you should be able to click on the program.
Yeah, if you click on the program, okay, so here, I don't see anybody for 10:30. Because what I'm seeing, from the 10 o'clock hour, there's a round table. I love my online class. And then you have leading in the digital world. That's from 11 to 11:30. Then
So, well, let me see. I think, okay, so see, for me, it's really hard because I'm on a time difference. So when I look at my clock, it says 10, it says 9:34.
okay.
So there's not supposed to be one in here. Is that what you're telling me?
I am not even sure, because what I'm looking at is that you told the lady to go to do her presentation now, but I am not seeing a presentation for her. What is the title of her presentation?
Okay, hers, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm looking at things wrong. All right, so the round table happened, it should be in this room, it should be at 9:30. Distance learning, educational equity
Distance learning, educational equity.
with Sarvetis Brown, which is who's not here.
Oh, that's 8:30. Okay, so it's showing up to be 8:30. You
Is that
still there? Okay, so you know what? I think my thing is it's on mountain time. That's what I'm getting.
Oh,
Okay,
in
it's
between
fine.
the two of us, we are gonna go nuts.
Now I understand. I'm gonna jump over and join that one.
So yeah, because what's happening is, this is not a responsive platform, and I wish I would have realized that before we purchased this one, because it is driving me batty. And
I don't think it's the platform, to be honest with you. I think it's your location where your computer is set. Because if you're seeing things at 9:30, I'm seeing them at 8:30. So we just have to be cognizant of our time zones.
okay.
Yeah, so now that I know that I'm on mountain time, because at first when I spoke to you, I thought because it was on Eastern time, then everything should have been Eastern.
Yes,
time.
but see, the problem is that it is not showing in Central Time on my computer. It is showing me in Eastern Time. And so that messed up my whole schedule, and that it really screwed me up when I was trying to figure out, and I didn't realize it until I think yesterday, how my schedule wasn't overlapping. So I wanted to make sure, and I don't know, I may be moving the UF online because they wanted to be after 3 o'clock on Wednesday or whatever time, and that was the only time slot I had. So I put them in, and now they're upset because they're up against yoga. I said, well, what other time slot? I mean, it's like, you ask me these things after the program's developed, I can't change them. And they were supposed to be lunch on Thursday. And she said, no, she couldn't do that. And I tried to find a time slot that worked for her. And now she's mad at me. So I'm having a conversation going back and forth with her to see, like, is there a better time?
Well, if someone, you know, won't be able to present on Friday, maybe they could do a Friday morning.
I am so mad at the Nova people right now.
They're the ones who started all of this, but you know what? Next year it's gonna be easier because we won't have to worry about their platform, and the sessions are not very well attended.
Well, you got to remember, there's only 60 people in the whole conference.
Oh, okay, I thought there was more, so there were like 10 people in each. So that's fair then, you know.
Anyway, let me.
I'll go to the next.
Yeah,
I'll go to the next conference. Keep me posted.
I'm going to deal with issues.
All right. See you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hello, Melanie? Oh, no, she's gone now. Okay.